country music. The country music. One minute she's up, one minute she's down. Loving her's like being on a merry-go-round. Sometimes she's sad, sometimes she's funny. Sometimes I wonder if I'm going or coming. I know she.
Oh, baby, what you done to me? What you done to me? You make me feel so good inside, good inside. And I just wanna be close to you. You make me feel so alive. You make me feel. You make me feel. You make me feel like a natural woman. You make me feel. You make me feel. You make me feel like a natural woman. You make me feel.
If you ever change your mind about leaving me behind, oh, bring it to me. Bring your sweet loving, bring it on home to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, members and fellows of the Institute of Directors, I want to first apologize for starting late. On your way here, I'm sure you realize the amount of traffic that has been very much around for a long time, particularly in River State, in Port Harcourt particularly, I mean. And it's due to the constructions that have been going on. Unfortunately, we have to bear the brunt of it. And first, we must apologize for starting late. It is not in our nature to begin late, but I want to believe that we've enjoyed the cocktail. The idea is to network, get to meet each other, and have a conversation so we can kickstart in a very relaxed atmosphere. Before I continue, I would like to introduce myself. For today, I will be your host, and my name is Karina Israel, and I happen to be a radio personality and a TV face. I like to say that. And I work for Silverbets Communication in Port Harcourt. So you can please put your hands together for me. Before we continue, I would like us to be on our feet as we take the national anthem. Please put your hands together. One great thing about Nigerians is despite how things might not seem to be working in a country where we call our own, we're still proud of our country. And our attention to the anthem is one thing that can show how proud we are as Nigerians. Well, before I go into introducing guests, I'm hoping that as they're coming, I will get a list of the guests and introduce them as they're coming. I would like to move into, if you check on your program or your brochure on page number 10, you have the program of events for today. But before I go on with item number 3, which is the opening remark, I would like to take a few housekeeping. If you need to go to the convenience, it's a door right behind you to my left. It's a brown door. There are 2 facilities for your convenience. The last time I checked, I was told that Farah Homes is very safe for us. I was reassured, and there is no emergency drill in any way, but in case you hear any fire alarm, please kindly take it easy, drop all your items you came in with. If for those of us who have heels, you can take them off, but you walk quietly, slowly through the same door with which you came in, and I'm sure that personnel will be on ground to direct you to the muster point. The muster point is right outside where the car park is, and that is the muster point. But I am very, very sure that we will be safe here today. Without wasting much of your time, I would like to introduce for the opening remark and welcome address, the chairman of the Port Harcourt zone of the Institute of Directors this evening. He is here with us. He is no other person but Mr. Chidi Okoro, member, Institute of Directors.
Thank you. Good evening, all. The President and Chairman of Council Institute of Directors of Nigeria, Dr. Mrs. E.J. Jidewa, ably represented by the Director General, Chief Executive Officer, Institute of Directors of Nigeria, Mr. Dele Alimi. Fellow members of Institute of Directors, our friends who have joined us this evening, other members of other professional organizations here seated, it gives me special pleasure to once again welcome everyone that has given this IOD Port Harcourt members evening priority and has deemed it necessary to be here with us today. Some have equally joined virtually. That means we all feel a sense of obligation to participate in an event that concerns one of the fundamental programs of IOD. IOD members' evenings are designed both in form and content for directors and non-directors, and are held in an environment convivial for networking, unwinding, contracting and building friendship, and is devoid of the officialdom that characterizes boardroom engagements. Today's exercise is remarkable because we shall be having a man who has bestowed the private and public sectors and is currently a major player in the traditional sector. His Royal Highness, Sir Barrister David Serena Dokubo, Spiff, Amadabo of Adama, Spiff Town, Tuambras, Bayelsa State. He's also the Chief Executive Partner, Serena Legal Union and Partners. He will speak to us on the scope, profile, and the role of company directors current legal regime and contemporary issues. I invite you to relax, to listen and enjoy as he brings his long legal and corporate experience to bear on this topic. This remark is not complete if I fail to recognize the planning committee of this event. On behalf of the executive of this zone, I am so delighted to express gratitude to the planning committee headed by Barrister Franklin Peterside for making this event a reality. I also do express our sincere thanks to our sponsors for your support and contribution. I wish you all a pleasant and well-spent evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Please, can we one more time put your hands together for the President, Port Harcourt branch of the Institute of Director. We will go into another remark, and having told that we should try as much as we can to hasten up and be out of here in no time. We will go straight to the remark by the President, Chairman, Governing Council, Institute of Directors, Nigeria, Dr. E.J. Jidenwa, Fellow, Institute of Directors, and she is humbly represented by the Director General, Institute of Directors, Mr. Dele Alimi, Member, Institute of Directors. Please can we put our hands together and welcome him for his remark.
The Chairman, IOD Nigeria Port Harcourt branch, our esteemed guest speaker, His Royal Highness Sir Barrister David Serena Dokubo, fellows of the Institute here present, members of the Institute here present, friends of the Institute. On behalf of the President and Chairman of the Governing Council of the Institute, Dr. Mrs. E.J. Jidenwa, FIOD, I bring you greetings. And first, let me place in front of you all our apologies that she cannot be physically present here. She really tried to do so, which incidentally will have been her first official act as the president of the Institute. She became president late in June. But unfortunately, she had a prior engagement which could not be broken. She sends her greetings and she sends her love to the branch. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, one of the area that the Institute had tried to grow in the last few years is in the area specifically of branch development. As a national body, the Institute believes that there is a need to reach out to the nooks and crannies of Nigeria, especially in the preaching of the gospel of corporate governance and good leadership, and to impact the people, the business world, the public sector, with also the tenet of integrity, fair play, and meritocracy. So it is a wonderful thing to have a branch here in Port Harcourt, which represents the south-south of the part of the country, and of course also the southeast part of the country. Just late last year, the Institute had approved, the Governing Council of the Institute had approved a branch charter that gives clarity to the role that the branches are expected to play in the scheme of things in the Institute. And what this charter had done was to clearly state the autonomy to a very large extent of the branches to organize events. And I think the result of it is what we are seeing today. I am happy to note that the Port Harcourt branch single-handedly they organized this event, which, thank you very much. I think they deserve that. Which I have been going for events outside Lagos, and I say this is one of the best. So I say a very big thank you to the branch, and of course, as we all know, the reward of hard work is more work. So it's also a challenge that the leaders, the new set of leaders that will come up in the branch should also note that they have to surpass what has been done here today. And it can be done. It's a function of commitment. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Institute is an advocacy body that is concerned about the spread of good corporate governance in Nigeria. We have been recognized by all levels of government for our advocacy work to improve good governance in Nigeria. We have worked with government in all areas of ensuring that directors, wherever they find themselves, are able to deliver on the mandate given by their stakeholders. The mandate of proper strategic direction of organizations, the mandate of ensuring that organizations continue to add value to investors. That we've been able to do. So, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the branch, I want to invite those of you that are not members of the Institute, that there's no better place to be if we are looking at entrenching the tenet of good corporate governance. We all know that in our country, what we don't lack is law. We have the rules, we have the laws, we have the regulations as stipulated by different acts of the National Assembly and so many other regulations given by the regulatory bodies, especially in the private sector. But how well do we adhere to these rules? I can assure us that unless we adhere to those rules, we cannot get the business environment we are looking for. And this is not just for the private sector, even the public sector. Because whatever we do, the business environment, which is basically almost in control of the public sector, is key. If the environment is toxic and it's not allowing growth of business, there is virtually nothing businessmen can do. And that is why we think you should join us so that we can, with one voice, get government to do the right things. Ladies and gentlemen, like the compere said, this is not a night for long talk. The only person who's allowed to give a long speech here today is the guest speaker. So I want to say a very big thank you for the invitation and also to express the appreciation of the national headquarters to the branch for organizing this program as we look forward to more of it. In fact, let me say it here, what we expect is that every quarter we should be having one members' evening. And as you all know, our members' evening is not just for members. Members are expected to bring their colleagues, bring their friends. That way, they will know that we do the right thing in IOD, and IOD is about business, business, and more business. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Sarah, the Director General, Institute of Directors, Mr. Dele Alimi, who also is a member of the association. Ironically, I was at this same event when Mr. Chidi Okoro became the president of this chapter. I was there, the chairman rather, of this chapter. I was here, and I came in a different capacity, and I'm here again, and it pleases me to see very familiar faces, and I'm hoping to see more faces I do not know, hoping that when next they have, like the Director General has said, another quarterly event, we will be here to see more faces and we'll use a bigger hall. Please put your hands together for yourselves. When I was called upon to anchor this event and I was given the flyer, a script to do the jingle for this, I saw a name. And when I saw that name, I smiled. It happened to be the guest speaker, who also is not just not a stranger at all. He is family to me. And it was indeed an honor to be the one to anchor this event and to listen to him pour out his wealth of knowledge. Well, before I introduce the guest speaker for today, I would like to take his citation. If you can please indulge me to do so. His Royal Highness, Sir Barrister David Serena Dokubo Spieth, is many things rolled in one: lawyer, traditional ruler, bureaucrat, amongst others. As a lawyer, he is a chief executive partner of Serenity Legal Union and Partners, a Port Harcourt-based corporate and commercial law firm, which has done extensive work in the energy and financial services sectors. His Royal Highness has, over a period of 4 decades, nurtured and mentored over 100 lawyers in his firm who are doing very well in their profession all over the country. His Serenity Chamber was known, as it was known rather, is reputed for provision of conducive practicing environment for young lawyers since the 1980s to present day. He is a passionate believer in a united, just, and egalitarian Nigeria and has vast contacts across the country, credited by many with oratorical skills. He is a frequent presenter at annual bar conferences at the Nigerian Bar Association. He is the king of Spieth Town at Damar in Tuon Brass, one of the export terminals from whence Nigeria ships crude oil abroad. His father hails from Briggs Compound at Bonima in Rivers State. The matrilineal system, which obtains in Brass home office maternal lineage, rendered him available for service in Spieth Town, Brass, as well as in Bayelsa State. Until the 30th of September 2017, Barrister Serena Dokubo Spieth was a secretary to the state government of Bayelsa. He voluntarily disengaged from that service and has returned to his cherished law practice to continue professional endeavors. His avowed passion is for the legal profession and for our beloved country, Nigeria, and advocates of the cause of justice for the Niger Delta. He is nevertheless a passionate Nigerian and believes that the current challenges being experienced by our country are but teething problems which will soon blow away to enable the country take its rightful position in the Committee of Nations. These beliefs will pave way for the enthronement of rapid overall development, social justice, and the rule of law. He is a director of a number of companies, notably Green Energy International Limited, an operator of a marginal oil field in OML 11. He is happily married to Lady Ina Christiana Serena Dokubo Ni Fetapigi, and they are blessed with 5 children. He is a patron of the arts and a keen musician and plays the acoustic guitar with remarkable dexterity. During his leisure, he spends time mentoring younger generation, gardening, and engaging in building construction. Ladies and gentlemen, members and fellows of the Institute of Directors, please make welcome to present our paper today, our guest speaker, His Royal Highness, Sir Barrister David Serena Dokubo Spieth, a Amadabo of Adama, Spieth Town, Tuon Brass, Executive Partner, Serenity Legal Union and Partners.
Thank you, Karina. Karina. Thank you. Please sit down. Before me, protocol had been established. I won't stand on the protocol because I will crush it. I would rather adopt it with approbation. Give me a round of applause. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it was said at the citation that this man is a passionate Nigerian, and that's what it is. I want to plead with you all something that has been said. Our beloved country is experiencing extremely difficult times. But these are but teething problems that will blow away, so that our country, Nigeria, will take its rightful place in the committee of nations. And so may it be in Jesus' name. The topic for today is scope, profile, and roles of company directors in Nigeria, current legal regime and contemporary issues. Well, the purpose is to remind us of who we are as directors, what our delineations are, what we can do and cannot do, and in what environment are we functioning or expected to function. Directors of corporate organizations are in effect the managers of the country's organized private sector in Nigeria. If they direct well, their organizations will function optimally. If their organizations function optimally, the entire polity will experience development, progress, and stability. Although the director is the fulcrum, the gearbox, alternator, and in fact the engine of enterprise, directors have been said to be the mind and soul of the corporations they represent. Regrettably, the director is most unjustifiably unacknowledged in Nigeria. This attitude has to change if enterprises are to thrive and grow the nation's economy. It needs to be said that all activity in the country, economic and otherwise, is expected to bring in well-being. Most of the economic activities are undertaken through the instrumentality of companies. Therefore, it stands to reason that these companies need to function efficiently and optimally, because it does have a direct impact on our bottom line, the bottom line of the country. I'd like to go off text here, because again, this is something we should be passionate about. Identifying it means isolating the cankerworm of the economic malaise that we find ourselves in as a country. We have hundreds of thousands of limited liability companies in this country functioning. How? Ask the Corporate Affairs Commission, and they will tell you how many companies file their annual returns. How many have regular meetings structured as the ordinary meeting, the extraordinary meeting, the emergency meeting, the annual general meetings? Most people just incorporate and go to sleep. We cannot run our companies in that manner. We cannot allow our corporate sector to go to sleep. Therefore, therein lies the significance of your most worthy organization, the Institute of Directors. It is worthy, it is meet, it is right and appropriate that an institute like this be formed, supported, if possible, by government and the entities themselves, and nurtured so as to galvanize them to action. Am I right or am I wrong? What we are saying in effect is that if we do not support this institute, if government does not support it, government is taking its eye off the ball and things will not go right. If the companies run well, that will be well-being for the entire country. It is the intention of this presentation to examine the profile, status, roles, and responsibilities against the background of legal, regulatory regime, and contemporary issues. Who is a director? It's defined in the Companies and Allied Matters Act, CAMA 2020. We have definition of Black Law Dictionary. That's simple. Then we have some statutory explanation on directorship. And we've said here, it said here that online resources abound on the topic of directors of corporate organizations. Many of them are so rich, informative, and educative that there would be no need to reinvent the wheel. Excerpts of them, however, will be set out in this paper with concomitant credits. Their respective particulars are also provided to enable and facilitate reference. What we're saying here is this. This is the digital age. This is the age of information communication technology. This is the age where at the press of a button, you get virtually any piece of information you require on any subject under the earth. So you can find it out. The links are there, provided. Appointment of directors, CAMA, that's on page 3. Page 4, you have the conditions, people who cannot be appointed directors. Also on page 4, you have sources of the authority of the director, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Companies and Allied Matters Act, the Investment and Securities Act 2007, the Finance Act 2020, the internal resources as provided in the governing laws, including the MEMAT, that's the Memorandum and Articles of Association. They give you the sources of authority of the director. The duties of the director are set out in 5, the duty to do all he can to guarantee success, a duty to exercise care and skill, a duty not to do anything that would fetter independent thinking, duty not to engage in anything that would constitute a conflict of interest, a duty to act in a fiduciary manner towards all company affairs. Directors are in a fiduciary relationship with the company. That's the bottom of page 5, and all that is done. It's taken in extenso and explained. You could take your time and read it. And you have some legal citations there. This is not meant to be a legal treatise, so I won't bore you with it. But I'll let you have the citations. They are there. Then we go to page 7. Peculiarities of the Nigerian director. We have directors all over the world running companies. But in Nigeria, we have a special situation. What's that situation? Truth be told, the concept of the joint stock company, which is the progenitor, the genesis, the beginning of the limited liability company, is alien to African culture. As a result, for us here in Nigeria, it is as awkward as the concept of monogamy, which was also introduced by our colonial masters. What we are saying is the origin of limited liability companies is the joint stock company. It grew, it metamorphosed into limited liability company, like Onwuka Interbiz Limited, ABC Nigeria Limited, and so on. But we're saying that that concept is not part of our culture. It's alien, imported by the people who came to quote and unquote civilize us, just as they imposed on us the concept of monogamy, which I am sure men and women alike will not exactly agree with, because the man will always be a man. I tell you a story about somebody, I won't mention names, I swear. A very close friend of mine, and they had gotten married, this lovely lady, but you know the proclivities of young men. You know, they've been so used to being around, doing the things that young men do, that even after marriage, it takes some time for it to taper off. So this young wife went and complained to her dad that, oh, look, he's doing this, he's doing that. And the dad, very wise man, who's also been in and out of the streets himself, like Nairobi people will say, old cow na rope. She listened to the lady, they are people's talk. And father said to daughter, no, I don't want to shout on this one. It's not indeliberate. So he called the name of his daughter. That she went and complained, oh, this man is doing this, he saw him with this girl and this. He said, she almost gave up. I almost mentioned the name of the person. But he said X. If X is the name of the lady, that's the father. After she complained to him bitterly, that said, no, Danny, can't wait. She said, no, sit down. Let me tell you something. Say, a man will always be a man. Is that not so? No, but even the ladies agree to that. Is that not so, ladies? Oh my God. Anyway, let's go on with the subject. Now, peculiarities of the Nigerian director. Truth be told, the concept of the joint stock company, which is the progenitor of today's limited liability company, is alien to African culture. As a result, for us here in Nigeria, it is as awkward as the concept of monogamy, which was also introduced by our colonial masters. It is still a learning curve. We're still learning. Otherwise, how can you explain to a Nigerian lad it's okay. No, go on. I'm enjoying the joke. I heard everything you said, but it's not true. It's saying the concept of monogamy, which was also introduced by our colonial masters, it is still a learning curve. Otherwise, how can you explain to a Nigerian lad that although his uncle is chairman of CEO and CEO of XYZ Limited, he cannot get a contract from that company or be employed by it? Such is the pressure from society on the Nigerian director that it is most daunting for him to function within the strict stipulations of corporate governance principles and standards. According to David P. Barron, Emeritus Professor of Political Economy and Strategy, social pressure matters. Firms need to be attentive to these kinds of pressure. From a paper, The Economics and Politics of Corporate Social Performance. Now, sorry, I'm coming. Just 1 second. We have on page 5 duties of the director, then peculiarities of the Nigerian director, fiduciary position of the director, then effect of abuse of fiduciary duty, and then you go to page 12. 11 And 12, we have corporate governance. Sorry, let me put my things together. Just 1 minute. I think there is a mix up here. Just a minute. There's a mix up here, but let me go. Let me try and tidy it up. Wow. Go to page 17. We have outlined certain principles, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, disclosures, and all that. And then we have the, I'm so sorry, just 1 second. I'm discerning a mix-up somewhere. In a second, I'll tidy it up for us. In the interim, you can be interacting among yourselves while I do the cleanup, and I'll come back on stream full force. Enjoy yourselves for a second. Scoop profile. Let me see what you have. You come. Peculiarities of the Nigerian director. Truth be told, the concept of the joint stock company, which is the progenitor of today's limited liability company, is alien to African culture. As a result, for us here in Nigeria, it is as awkward as the concept of monogamy, which was also introduced by our colonial masters. It is still a learning curve. Otherwise, how can you explain to a Nigerian lad that although his uncle is chairman CEO of XYZ Limited, he cannot get a contract from that company or be employed by it? Such is the pressure from society on the Nigerian director that it is most daunting for him to function within the strict stipulations of corporate governance principles and standards. According to David P. Barron, Emeritus Professor of Political Science and Strategy, Stanford Graduate School of Business, social pressure matters. Firms need to be attentive to these kinds of pressures. From a paper the economics and politics of corporate social performance. It is opined that businesses operate in three markets which are interconnected: the product market, capital market, the market for social pressure. The pressure comes through actions such as regulatory enforcement, product boycotts, internet campaigns, and statements to the press. Social pressure. Pressure groups, NGOs, NPOs, activists, et al. Are known worldwide to ensure that corporations do not rip off their host environments. Through protests, press conferences, media rounds, civil society engagement, among others, the moral wrongs are perceived ills, and perceived ills of corporations are brought to the limelight. In Nigeria, one recurring situation that resonates across communities in the Niger Delta region is the relationship between the multinational oil companies or their indigenous counterparts and the host communities. Due to oil production and related activities, the impact on such host communities is often overlooked when there is no social pressure on the companies. Some of the notable organizations which help keep the social eye on the corporations and their directors are Amnesty International, Center for Human Rights and Development, Environmental Rights Action, Friends of the Earth, such as Ogoni Solidarity Forum, Movement of the Survival of the Ogoni People, MOSOP, the diplomatic community. Fiduciary position of the director. One cardinal feature of the status of the company director is the concept of fiduciary relationship. By definition, it is a person who is required to act to the benefit of another person on all matters within scope of the relationship, one who owes to another duties of good faith, trust, confidence, and candor. That was from Black's Law Dictionary. The term fiduciary, therefore, encompasses all the elements of strictness, probity, and accountability. The rationale for this is the fact that the director is the manager of assets, being the venture capital contributed by various individuals and entitled and entities, trusting that the resulting enterprise will be run properly and profitably. Because these contributions are far removed from the day-to-day operations of the enterprise, the fiduciary imperative serves to secure and guarantee viability. Effect of abuse of fiduciary duty: massive fraud, mismanagement of companies' resources, loss of profit and even capital, breach and damage of trust reposed in them by shareholders and stakeholders in the business, complete collapse of the enterprise, depressing effect on the nation's GDP. These outcomes have been largely exemplified in numerous establishments now moribund on the verge of collapse. You have the textile mills around the country, Kaduna, Aba, Asaba, NAFCON, ensuring companies have effective, competent boards that will act with integrity at all times. Now, some highlight principles include principle 1, role of the board; 2, chairman; 3, chairman; 4, managing director; 6, non-executive directors. All those are set out there, on and on until you get to page 17, where you have qualities which a good board of directors ought to possess. The provision of section 3053 of CAMA provides a platform which the qualities of a good board member may be deduced from. It provides as follows. Best interest of the company must be a priority. In-depth knowledge and skill of the activities and inner workings of the company. Ability to make quality judgments. Honesty and uprightness. His character must be impeccable. Like Caesar's wife, above board. Dedication and commitment of his time to the company's affairs. He must exercise independent and unfettered judgment. Then you have the checklist for the director. And we have said here, he must have, on page 19, a cursory knowledge of the Ministry of Petroleum Resources, NNPC, DPR, NAPINS, PPMC, NESRIA. Now that the long-awaited petroleum industry bill has been passed by the National Assembly, awaiting presidential assent, a diligent director ought to have a fair grasp of how this new piece would affect his company. Liability of a company director. Generally, as directors act on behalf of the company and as its agents, they are not liable for acts done on behalf of the company. On page 20, you have liability for tax, fraudulent conduct of business, debts of the company, misstatements in the prospectus, carrying on business below the statutory number of directors, liability to pay for qualified shares, liability as provided by memo and articles, challenges of directors. On page 23, you have corruption, you have dispute resolution, corporate scandal, uncooperative regulatory and enforcement agencies. Page 24, you have political interference. Yes, political interference. We're coming to, you read that, we're coming to the conclusion. We'll get there.
Show me heaven above me. Leave me breathless. Oh, show me heaven, please. Here I go. I'm shaking just like the breeze. I need your hand to steady me. I'm not denying I'm frightened as much as you. Oh, I'm barely touching you. As shivers down my spine. And it feels so fine.
There's a printer's mix-up here. Now, let's go to first principles. What we are seeking to do here is to elaborate on the role we are to play as directors of entities. Objectives of government and the entire polity can only be carried out in an organized manner. And over the centuries, the manner in which this has been done is through the instrumentality of the joint stock company, which eventually metamorphosed into what we have today as the limited liability companies, operated by directors. The Institute of Directors is therefore very pivotal in the exercise or conduct of business nationwide, because it is the directors who organize their entities that go out to the field to achieve results. The corporate organizations, therefore, if they are to function optimally, must be directed properly. If you recall, one famous Nigerian minister decades ago who went on television and it was repeated over and over: if you are a director, direct well. If you are a manager, manage well. If you are a teacher, teach well. So the purpose is poking me. Say, traditional ruler. If you're a traditional ruler, rule well. The purpose of this entire enterprise is that Nigeria, having a plethora of limited liability companies, ought to rely on the proper functioning of these organizations in order to get value through the corporate entities in the corporate space. What obtains today is far below par, must be said. Therein lies the significance of the Institute of Directors, because it is this institute that will establish, so to say, the gold standard of corporate entities, of corporate governance, so that in virtually every aspect of human endeavor, where you have a venture, if the Institute of Directors directs well, the respective entities will also function well and optimally. I believe that is the case. And that makes a strong case for support for the Institute of directors. Very strong case for it. In a proper climb, I dare say, there should be substantial support structure for the Institute of Directors flowing from government. Because government is going into ventures of all sorts in which government itself is interacting with limited liability companies and similar organizations. Therefore, government must have an interest in ensuring the viability, the efficiency of these limited liability companies run by directors. I repeat, it is not many companies that are run efficiently. It is not many companies that are run in accordance with the stipulations of the law. Did somebody switch off this AC? On whose instruction? Sweet about compliance of. Thank you. My voice is back. Companies must be run properly and correctly. it is not sufficient to incorporate a company and file nothing for 10, 15 years until you want to apply for something and they say bring evidence of filing of annual returns and so on, and you're doing all that in arrears. The economic health of any country depends on the respective stability, efficiency, and effectiveness of its corporate community. And so I would like to emphasize that the Institute of Directors should go beyond what it appears to be now, a club of people with similar interests. It should go for legislation that will give it legal teeth to undertake oversight functions over the corporate community. That is very important. The Institute of Directors should not be a mere club of people who are interested in corporate issues. It should be more or less like a regulatory agency that will have the responsibility of ensuring effective administration of the corporate community in the country. Ladies and gentlemen, that will have a significant impact on the economy of the country, because now it can be said that there is a huge gap. There's a huge gap. You just have a plethora of companies all over the place. He's chairman, managing director. He's this, is that. They don't have their regular meetings as stipulated under the law. They do not undertake training as will be required or may be required to deal with specific issues. I want to, with every sense of responsibility, make a call here for the upgrading of the status and functions of the Institute of Directors. It should be given serious legal teeth together with all the enablement that will be required. The Institute of Directors should be the industry, the corporate industry policeman, just as you have the petroleum industry policeman as who? Who is the policeman of the petroleum industry? The DPR, the Department of Petroleum Resources. If any petroleum-related company goes adrift, DPR will call it to order and bring it back on stream. In similar manner, it is hereby respectfully advocated that the Institute of Directors be given such legal teeth to be able to rein in any erring or errant corporate organization. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all who've been here for your steadfastness, for your commitment to cause, and for your interest in growing our country. You are all here without any inducement. On the contrary, you've all come here on your own volition and at your own costs. That is great sacrifice that should never be forgotten. Can you give yourselves a round of applause? On that note, I want to say thank you very much for the opportunity. And before I hand over the microphone, I'd like to let you know that my facility, Serenity Legal Union and Partners at Transamadi, is ready for use by this institute at no fee whatsoever. My brother, Mr. Iyala Hari, has been there. We have different halls. The one that is ready now and in use is named after Nabo Graham Douglas, and it's ready for use. It is good. I'm not saying we should stop patronizing my good friend, the owner of this place. No, this is a fantastic facility. But sometimes you may want to have an occasion for the entire sub-region. Our hall can take about 700 people. And it's available for you. Having said that, I am still askance as to how my brother Iyala Hari never let me know about this organization in our Port Harcourt. How my brother and professional colleague, Franklin Peterside, the professional disciplinarian and high flyer, did not even whisper to me. No, I'm not going to drag clientele with you now. You know, you are young, dashing and all that. I am aging and almost retired. I'll soon be retiring at 68. That God has been most gracious to me. So I hereby pledge that I'll give every support required to this institute so that it will grow and grow and grow, so that it will be in a position to assume the responsibilities that we are advocating by virtue of this presentation. The Institute of Directors must be given legal teeth that is wider than what is currently having. And it must have oversight and supervisory function and authority over all of industry. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Can we please put our hands together for His Royal Highness, Sir Barrister David Serena Dogobo Spieth. Amazing. You can please take your seats. So I do have an uncle who is a Royal Highness. I do have an uncle who just made promises to the Institute of Directors. And I do have that same uncle who told me that I should be ashamed to say that I am in the board of directors of one company like that. You see, I had to whisper it because from all the conversations today, from all he said today, I should be hiding under the bushel. I shouldn't come up to say, I know of a company that my name happens to be a director because I have nothing whatsoever to be in that capacity. But, well, the young shall grow, so they say. We shall get there. We shall grow. So please, if you did enjoy this speech today, this presentation, please one more time, put your hands together for our guest speaker. I call him the funkiest monarch ever. You need to spend time with him. No, you really need to spend time with him. And I want to say I'm blessed to have him as family because every time, every moment with him, it's always very impactful. Without wasting much of a time, we need to go to the presentation. But before we do, I would like to recognize a friend from an association, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, and the former president, Mazi Nnamdi Okwadigbo, who is here today with us. Please recognize him, and you're very welcome, sir. You're very welcome. I'll also recognize the supporters of this event put together. I saw glasses of wine going around, and I can still smell the food in the air. We have supporters of this event. We have, of course, His Royal Highness, Sir David Serena Dokubo, who supported this event. We have Strata-Based Nigeria, AMC Consulting Limited. Please put your hands together. Polo Court Hotel, wonderful place. Cascade Control Limited. Please put your hands together. We have N. Saleh. He supported this event. Mr. Chidi Okoro, the chairman of the Port Harcourt zone. Please put your hands together. And the vice president of the Institute of Directors Nigeria. Please put your hands together for all those who found it so fit to support this event. One more time, please put your hands together. I would like to recognize the sponsors as well of this event. And one company is unavoidably absent, but please permit me to recognize them. Bonnie Channel Company, BCC, thank you so much for all you do. And I also will recognize another organization of whom I started my broadcasting career with. Fortunately for me, I was given an opportunity at Love FM 97.7, where I started my broadcasting career after my return from the UK. And they gave me 4 hours, 4 days a week. And from there, I had moved on to where I am till date. Please, ladies and gentlemen, members and fellows of the Institute of Directors, please put your hands together for the Chief Executive Office, Chief Operating Officer, and the Executive Director of Multi-Mesh Limited, Lucy Okon, as she comes to talk to us in 2 minutes about their services and their products. Please put your hands together for her.
Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lucy Okonkwo, not Okon. Thank you very much. Okonkwo. No problem, no problem. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so glad to be in the midst of every one of us here. And the most about it is the wealth speech that we have heard from His Royal Highness. In fact, I've been asking myself question here, am I really portraying what it takes to be a director of a company? His Royal Highness, I'm so glad to hear from you today. I want to stand on the existing protocols, unlike His Royal Highness, because he said he will crush it. I am too small, I will not crush it, so I want to stand on it. And I hope I will be allowed to do so. But I will not fail to appreciate the organizers of this program. I want to say that people have done a great deal to make this evening an eventful one. Without wasting our time, our company is Multimesh Communication Limited. It's a group of company because inside Multimesh Group, you have other companies that are under it. You have the Family Love FM station, 97.7 here in Port Harcourt, and we have it in Umuahia, we have it in Abuja, we have it in Enugu. Under Multimesh Group of Company, you have another company called Multimesh Technology Limited, and their basic job is that partnering with all the networks like the MTN, the Glo, and the Airtel, and they are super dealer in any kind of phones you can talk about. Under it again, you have another company called the Hallelujah Icars, the Gospel Digital. In fact, it's a very big company. If you begin to list what we do, we'll not do that. But our basic job is on telecommunication, broadcasting, and security equipment. And under the broadcasting, we have the Family Love FM that I've mentioned. And under the telecoms, we do a lot of jobs like the His Royal Highness have mentioned about the oil and gas. We are into oil and gas business, and we are into security equipment. And for example, we know what we call the two-way radios, or what the police normally call the walkie-talkie. We have been the sole distributor of the famous one called Kenwood products. And recently, due to the zeal for the company in innovation and technology, we have brought what we call the smart two-way radios. Our general manager is seated here, and I hope he can share some of our flyers. And this smart two-way radio is a kind of a smart two-way radio that we use to communicate nationwide without, flooding the whole area with masts, with repeater stations, base stations. Why? Because we ride on the GSM platform. It's new technology, and we are the first to bring it. And I must tell you that all the security agents, the armies, the police are buying into it because people are tired of the high maintenance rates you run when you set up BTS here and there, set up mass here and there. And it has been a saving grace in the security field. Then another thing that we also do very well is the office structuring. That's one of the major things that Multimesh does. As I've stated earlier on, we have our GM marketing here that is in charge of everything you can think about in our radio station to tell you what it is. I hope Onye, you have our flyers to share to them. Another thing that Multimesh Communication does is we are into gospel technology. What do they do? We are into free decoders. I know that some of us are hearing that Nigeria is going into a satellite, digital satellite television, what they call free TV. Our company managed to be one of the manufacturers, the biggest manufacturer for that free TV decoders, and we call it a gospel digital decoders. Our plant is located at Calabar, and we have set up another plant here for our metering here in Port Harcourt. So these are the few things that Multimesh does. And if you look around, we are the one that is covering this event under our channel that is in the free TV zone, the African Movie Net. They have just recently launched it in Lagos. These are crew members. And as you can see, we are streaming this event live. So in case you have other programs that you would like us to do for you, you can call us for such services and we'll give you the best. We are customer centric, and you will be glad that you do business with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Lucy Okonkwo. Apologies for the wrong pronunciation. She is the Chief Operating Officer and Executive Director of Multimesh Communications Limited. One more time, please put your hands together for her. Before I move, I must also appreciate some other organizations that have so been partner to this event today. I have Sundry Foods Limited. Sundry Foods, thank you so much. Please put your hands together for them. and as well this wonderful place where we are resident and who have so graciously given us cocktail and would give us dinner. We have the Farah Homes or the Farah Group, which is a group of different organizations, particularly hospitality. Please put your hands together. Without wasting much of your time, we will move to the presentation of awards and plates. And I hope we are ready for, I have a number of recipients for this event today. And I want to toe the line of my Royal Highness and my uncle. Give me a minute. Just 1 second. Please, 1 minute.
In your heart, in the start of every night and every day. In your eyes, I get lost. I get lost.
So before we go into the award presentation, I would like to make welcome for a reaction, the director, for a response rather, permit my word, for a response. I only said what was given to me verbatim. All right, so I would like to make welcome for a response, the Director General of the Institute of Directors, Mr. Dele Alimi. He is the member of the Institute of Directors Nigeria.
Just as long as I'm here in your arms.
Thank you very much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you see the way I sharply responded when she said react. I just wanted his highness to know that it's not a reaction, just a response, because he has said some things, and I know if the president were here, she would have first thank His Royal Highness for this magnanimity. We have been looking for this kind of partnership in Port Harcourt, and it is good that we've started with the venue we are in today. You have supported us so much, and having you on board too increases the largesse we've been looking for, and I'm very happy. Like I told you earlier on, I am still in shock that you are not a member of the Institute, but as I told you also, it takes only about 3 to 4 months. So before the end of this year, you'll be a member of the Institute. And that is a challenge to my colleague who is here in Port Harcourt. That must happen. And also a challenge to my Oga at the top, Mr. Iyala Hari. We have to get this done. I'm sure you agree with me, sir. Be that as it may, I just wanted to respond to 1 or 2 of the issues, very, very salient issues raised by His Highness during his address. The first one is the issue of the legal position of the Institute. I am happy to tell you that our bill for the charter of IOD Nigeria has been passed by the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and is currently, it's about to go for the second reading at the House of Rep. What that means is that it's going to go straight to the presidency for signature. So we are almost through with that, Your Highness. So, but let me say here that we have decided that IOD is not going to be a regulatory body. And it's not because we are shy. Let me hold on so that you can hear me. Yes, sir. We have, the Council of the Institute of Directors Nigeria has decided that IOD is not going to be a regulatory body. And that's not because we are shy of taking that role, but because we believe there are more than enough regulators in the industries who are doing well, irrespective, but who need the support of institutions like IOD Nigeria. And that is why we believe when we get our legal status properly sorted, we are going to work with institutions like Financial Reporting Council, like NICOM, like the Central Bank of Nigeria, and all the other, like PENCOM, all the other sector regulators to ensure that these regulations that they have in place are properly implemented. I'm telling you, sir, if you see these regulations, it's enough to ensure that we have a very sane and wonderful climate for business in Nigeria. But like you said, we have these rules and laws and regulations, but we are not really abiding by them. So we are working on that, and we're going to be working with them and ensuring that once IOD becomes IOD charter, we have the power, or sorry, I would say the authority to work with these organizations, since we are now recognized by government. So that is going to happen, and it's going to happen very, very soon by the grace of God. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank His Highness for this wonderful support he has given the Institute tonight. And I'm going to raise it at the next council meeting to tell them what we have been able to achieve in Port Harcourt. And we look forward to getting your name and being able to put MIOD behind it firstly, and then FIOD very, very soon. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much. But I need to ask a question to the DG of the Institute. What penalties are there for Professor Franklin and Mr. Iyalahari? Are there any penalties?
That is going to be within the house. Don't worry.
Please put your hands together for the Director General of the Institute of Directors. So without wasting much of your time, I'll quickly go to the presentation of awards, which wouldn't take time. And we will begin with Mr. Adoage Norte, Member, Institute of Director, who is duly represented by Mr. Patrick Wika. Please put your hands together for him. Mr. Adoage Norte has a background in economics. He's a fellow to the Institute of Taxation of Nigeria. He's a member, Institute of Directors of Nigeria, a member to the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria, member Association of National Accountants of Nigeria. He has held positions as the managing partner, Estron Nepato and Associates, managing consultant, B&L Associates, president, Ogoni Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, member, Governing Board, University of Port Harcourt, chairman, Faro Group of Companies, member, Rivers Estates Ease of Doing Business Council, former executive chairman, Rivers State Internal Revenue Service, and former member, Executive Council, Rivers State Government. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mr. Adoage Norte, member, Institute of Directors. And to so present the award, let's welcome Mr. Chidi Okoro to present the award to Mr. Adoage Norte.
Excellency Award presented to Chief B. Adoage Norte, MIOD, for your commitment and support of the Institute of Directors of Nigeria at Members' Evening and Award Night this Thursday, 12th August 2021, signed by Chidi Okoro, Chairman. Congratulations.
The next recipient of the award is my friend and a fellow of this honorable institute, Mr. Innocent Iyalahari.
We are the same.
A gentleman at par,
Your heart and mind. They are the same.
Mr. Innocent
They are
Iyalahari,
the same.
FIOD KSM, is the
We don't have
FIOD fellow Fellow of the Institute of Directors. FIOD. Should I say that one more time? FIOD. KSM is the principal partner at ICB Strategic Partners with over 25 years top echelon banking experience and professional development. He currently serves as the board chairman, Macarios Consulting Services. He's a fellow of the Institute of Directors Nigeria. Mr. Innocent Iyalahari has multidisciplinary competencies and as well as several years of economic development consultancy under his belt. He is an alumnus of several renowned institutions, among which are the Harvard Business School, the Johnson Institute of Responsible Governance in the University of Pittsburgh, the School of African Microfinance, Mombasa, Kenya, and the Edinburgh Business School of Heriot Watts University. In addition, Mr. Innocent Iyalahari was Managing Director of TMC Mortgages Limited, IEI Assets Limited, and River State Microfinance Agency. He is the immediate past chairperson of the Institute of Directors for the South, South, and Southeast Zone, as well as the founder of DLAN International. He is currently the deputy chairman of the African Roundtable Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises and the chairman, Board of Governors, St. Martin's de Porres College. Mr. Innocent Iyalahari has been an active and renowned Rotarian for the past 31 years and presently Assistant Governor in District 9141. He is adjunct lecturer in finance and strategy at the University of Port Harcourt Business School. Sir Mr. Innocent Iyalahari is a respectful knight of the Catholic Church, married to his delectable and adorable wife, Anne, and together they have 4 successful children. Members, fellows of the Institute of Directors, guests and friends, may I present to you Sir Iyalahari.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It is just a great pleasure and honor. It is a lifetime pleasure because he's my predecessor in office. To present this honor to this man who has done a lot to build this institute in this zone. He's the pioneer chairman. It may interest you to know that while he served as chairman, I served as his secretary. Excellence Award presented to Mr. Innocent Iyalahari, FIOD, for your commitment and support to the Institute of Directors of Nigeria at members' evening and award night, dated this 12th day of August 2021. The good thing is that it's signed by myself.
It's a celebration.
Please put your hands together for a fellow of the Institute of Directors, Sir Iyalahari. Please put. All right, before we should move, we are moving on. I'm just told that there's a representative of whom I have not been informed of. The next recipient for the award is Mr. Nicholas Odinuwe, member, Institute of Directors. So please put your hands together for the representative of this amiable man who will be receiving an award today. Mr. Nicholas Odinuwe is the Group Managing Director and CEO of Citadel Limited, one of the leading technical service companies operating in the Nigerian oil and gas industry. He is also the Executive Chairman of Global Lifting and Engineering Services and Chairman of Citadel Medicals and Diagnostics Limited. He holds a master's degree in Industrial Environmental Microbiology from the University of Port Harcourt. He is an alumni of Georgetown University Business School of Business, Washington, D.C., and a fellow of the Nigerian Environmental Science Society. with an experience of over 30 years in the area of environmental, waste management, engineering, quality health, safety, security, and environment, and investments in upstream and midstream. His interest in medicals and FMCG's businesses have guided recent expansion of the group holding into Mozambique, Tanzania, Rwanda, and Uganda. Mr. Odinwe has fellowships and membership accreditations of local and international bodies such as SBE, RASP, IOD, and NIM. He was given special recognition by the Guild of Medical Directors Abuja in 2015, Medical Laboratory Science Council Abuja in 2018, and the United States Embassy Lagos in 2017. He became PETAN chairman in March 2020. He had held the position of the Association Publicity Secretary between 2016 to 2020, prior to becoming chairman. He is happily married with children. Mr. Odinwe is an avid golfer and has held the position of golf captain, earning him the popular title of Kapo among fellow golfers. Please may I present to you Mr. Nicholas Odinwe, Member, Institute of Directors. And to those to so present the award, please make welcome once again the chairman of the Port Harcourt zone of the Institute of Directors, Mr. Chidi Okoro. Please put your hands together.
Excellence Award presented to Mr. Nicholas Odinwe Odi for your commitment and support to the Institute of Directors at Members Evening Award Night, this 12th day of August 2021, signed by the Zonal Chairman.
Please put your hands together for the recipient of the award. The next recipient of this award is Engineer Emeka Okuosa, a fellow of the Institute of Directors. I want to be sure that there is a representative of Engineer Emeka. Please put your hands together as he comes in. Engineer Emeka Okuosa is a seasoned engineer, administrator, entrepreneur, and a visionary with over 36 years experience in engineering across Europe, North Africa, West Africa, Gulf of Guinea, Central Africa, and Indonesia. Emeka worked in various capacities for Schlumberger, diverse fields across continents. Emeka is passionate about the development of human capacity in high technology areas of the oil and gas industry, which he achieved via various schemes through the companies that he founded and still runs. With other key practitioners in the oil and gas engineering, exploration, and production sectors, Emeka contributed to the enactment of oil and gas local content law 10 years ago. This law has helped to institutionalize the development of sustainable local capacity in the oil and gas industry. Emeka is the Group Chief Executive Officer of the following companies: Oilserv Limited, Frazimex Engineering Limited, Frazoil Exploration and Production Limited, Fraspower Limited, Excel Farms Limited, and Crown Energy Resources Limited. Emeka is a member of numerous professional bodies and is a recipient of an array of awards, both professionally and socially. He is the founder of Sir Emeka Okuosa Foundation, which has recorded several contributions to humanity. He is a Knight of St. Christopher of the Anglican Communion. Please, may I present to you Engineer Emeka Okuosa, a fellow of the Institute of Directors. And maybe one more time, welcome the chairman of the Port Harcourt zone of the Institute of Directors to so present the award.
Dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, this is one recipient I know very well. Excellent award presented to Engineer Chukwuemeka Okuosa, FIOD, for your commitment and support to the Institute of Directors. I must put Port Harcourt Zone at our members' evening award night on this 12th day of August 2021. And I'm happy to sign this award. Thank you.
But whatever the reason, you do it for me. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will ask, with your permission, that the chairman of the Port Harcourt zone of the Institute of Directors please remain standing here. And I'm wondering if he so graciously signed an award, who then will sign his? Please put your hands together for Mr. Chidi Okoro. As simple as he is, he refused to send us a citation. But Mr. Chidi Okoro happens to be my friend, and I'm proud to say so. He is the Chief Executive Officer of COPSERV International Logistics Limited. He is a Rotarian in action and in deeds. He is presently an Assistant Governor of District 9141. Ladies and gentlemen, in summary, he is a very interesting character. Please put your hands together for Mr. Chidi Okoro. And to so present the award to him, let's make welcome the Director General of the Institute of Directors, Mr. Dele Alimi, member, Institute of Directors, Nigeria.
One of our favorites from my way.
This award is so heavy. I don't know whether the others were this heavy, but this is heavy. And it's a pleasure on behalf of the Institute, especially the branch in Port Harcourt, to present this award to you, the chairman. And it is a recognition of the wonderful work you've done. Despite the pandemic, you have kept the branch alive, and you have done well to make sure that everything is still going on well. The organization of this program under your supervision as the chairman of the branch is also well appreciated. So I want to, on behalf of the entire members of the branch, present this award to you and to wish you very well and very well indeed. And I'm also happy to have signed this award.
And now, in this near.
Ladies and gentlemen, members and fellow of the Institute of Directors Nigeria, please can we put our hands together for all the award recipients today.
I state my case, of which I'm certain.
Well, before we move over to a response, I have one more recipient of an award, and the recipient happens to be the guest speaker of today. He's no other but His Royal Highness, Sir Barrister David Serena Dogobo Spieth, the Amadabo of Adama, Spieth Town in Tuambras, Bayelsa State, and the Chief Executive Partner, Serenity Legal Union and Partners. Please make welcome our guest speaker for today to receive his award. And to present this award to him, kindly make welcome one more time the Director General of the Institute of Directors, Mr. Dele Alimi, who also is a member of this amazing institute. Please put your hands together for him.
First, let me say to you, I cannot wait to see you.
Before you have me singing Duduke now. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is really a great honor. We've all heard His Highness addressed us. He has challenged the Institute, and I always love the challenges. That's the only way we can get better, and I appreciate the challenge you're giving us. We thank you not only for the paper you have presented today, but for the wonderful gift you are giving the Institute, which we are going to put to very good use. I assure you of that. And on behalf of the entire membership of the Institute, even beyond this branch, I want to say a very big thank you. On behalf of the president too, I say a very big thank you to you. And I make this presentation. This does not in any way show our entire gratitude, but this is just a token of our appreciation of what you have done here today, Your Highness. We say a very big thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
In my heart there's a permanent place for you. That's why my heart it a beat like do Yes, now you are true, so
Okay. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to express my genuine appreciation for this. This means a lot to me. I wish my wife was here to enjoy this moment with me, but she's away on school run abroad. But she will hear. She will hear. Sincerely speaking, I don't know, I'm lost with words. I was warned. They say you shouldn't show any emotion. You're a man. You're a traditional ruler. Otherwise, this is genuine. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
baby, now you are go big boy.
I'm sure I said something that I was blessed to have him as my uncle and the funkiest traditional ruler you can ever think of. One more time, please put your hands together for His Royal Highness, Sir David Sarina Dokubo. And before we go further for dinner, I'm seeing that dinner is being served. In response, I would like to make a response on behalf of all the awardees, my very good friend, a fellow of the Institute of Directors, Mr. Innocent Iyala Hari. Please put your hands together for him.
Good evening, everybody. The Director General, my dear friend, Dele Alimi, Your Royal Highness, my brother, Serena Dokubo, fellows of the Institute of Directors and members here present, our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. This is a journey that started many years back, and today we're happy that we're beginning to get some traction on the Institute of Directors Nigeria. There was a time the Institute of Directors, what you say about 7 years ago, was run from my office for 5 years. They weren't sure which direction we're going to go because we neither had an office nor a premises or even members that I could boast of. But here we are today, giving recognitions to people who have contributed to the development of the Institute of Directors Port Harcourt. This is a work in progress. We can't even rest on our oars or believe we've done the right thing. I'm very happy that Your Highness, you've so generously given to the Institute of Directors tonight, and trust me. First of all, let me apologize for not introducing the Institute of Directors. You were very busy doing many wonderful things. I remember when I visited in Bayelsa, when you were the secretary to the government, I was warmly received and I ate so much and you took very good care of me. You know, when you eat good food, you don't even remember why you're there. So, Your Highness, you and I will come a very long way. And anything I don't know about you does not exist. So now that you've challenged me, I'm going to introduce you to many things that you might not like. So help you God. But on a very serious note, this is a gentleman I'm very proud of. I mean, he's one of the very few we have in this part of the world. A man of very powerful command of the English language and the legal profession. A very seasoned administrator. And in all this that he's acquired over the years, there's so much humility that anytime I call him, it doesn't matter what time of the day, he picks my call. And if he cannot pick, he always returns it at his fair time. I mean, this is a relationship that has been nurtured for over 37 years now. And I'm very happy that we're still waxing strong. And thank you for the honor you've bestowed on the Institute. You know, when we invited you, we weren't so sure about your availability because we know you're always in the air. I think you need a private jet, Your Highness. But on behalf of the awardees who have so wholeheartedly received and to whom much is given, much is expected, we believe that the next few years will be the real stuff for the IOD Port Harcourt and beyond. We're going to be putting our footprints on the whole of the South-South and the Southeast. So help us God. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sir Iyala Hari, Fellow of the Institute of Directors, for that wonderful response. I can really relate to what my friend, Mr. Hari, says. When you go visit His Royal Highness, you tend to get the best of all, that you actually forget what took you there, so he can be pardoned. As you can, I can notice right now the food is being served, so it's time for us to eat and have a drink and enjoy this event. It's an award and variety night, and of course, there's a variety of food here for us to feast and feed on. I will hand over to some sound, some soft, light music. And when I come back, trust me, we will be given the vote of thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, have a lovely meal.
1 minute she's down, loving her's like being on a merry-go-round. Sometimes she's sad, sometimes she's funny. Sometimes I wonder if I'm going or coming. I know